take a moment. There's nothing you need to fix right now, nothing you need to solve, nothing you need to figure out before you stay. You don't need to rush this. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to be strong for anyone in this moment. If you're here, it's probably because something in your life feels unclear, not dramatic, not chaotic, just unresolved, something that hasn't found its place yet. You've prayed about it more than once. You've waited. You've hoped. And the answers haven't come the way you thought they would. Maybe you expected clarity by now. Maybe you thought the season would be shorter. Maybe you believed things would make sense if you just stayed faithful long enough. And yet, here you are, still waiting, still wondering, still trusting, even when it feels quiet. Tonight isn't about fixing everything. It's not about forcing peace. It's not about understanding why things happened the way they did. Tonight is about resting while you wait. Because waiting can be heavy. Waiting can stretch the heart. Waiting can make the nights feel longer than they should. Sometimes waiting doesn't feel spiritual. It just feels tiring. And God knows that. You don't have to hold everything together right now. You don't have to make sense of your faith. You don't have to pretend you're okay. This is a quiet place, a gentle place, a place where you can sit without performing. If your thoughts feel restless, that's okay. If your emotions feel close to the surface, that's okay too. Nothing here needs to be pushed away. Just allow yourself to arrive. Take a slow breath in and let it go gently. You're not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not being overlooked by God. Sometimes clarity comes later. Sometimes answers come slowly. And sometimes peace comes before understanding ever does. That's what this time is for. To slow down, to breathe again, to remember that even here, God is with you. You can stay as long as you need. You can let this play softly in the background. You can rest, pray, or simply listen. There's no rush. Let's continue together. God, sometimes life doesn't fall apart loudly. It unravels quietly, not all at once, not in ways that are easy to explain. Plans change, doors close, people leave, and suddenly, we find ourselves standing in a place we never planned to be. We're still doing the right things, still showing up, still praying, still trying to be faithful even when it feels confusing. But the path ahead feels unclear. We trust you when things are obvious, when the direction is clear, when answers come quickly. But right now, clarity feels far away. And yet, you are still here, even in confusion, even in silence, even in the prayers that seem to go unanswered. You are still here. God, there are moments when we don't know what to do next, when decisions feel heavy, when every option feels uncertain, when moving forward feels harder than standing still. We didn't expect this season to last this long. We didn't expect the waiting to feel this quiet. And sometimes, the quiet is the hardest part. So we bring that honesty to you now. We bring the questions we don't know how to ask. We bring the disappointment we tried to hide. We bring the weariness we carry through the day. God, meet us here, not with pressure, not with urgency, but with presence. Help us trust you when the picture isn't clear, when the timeline feels stretched, when the road ahead feels unfamiliar. Teach us that silence doesn't mean absence. Teach us that waiting doesn't mean abandonment. Teach us that confusion doesn't mean we've failed. Even here, you are working. Even now, you are near. So we slow our thoughts. We loosen our grip. we stop trying to force answers. We allow ourselves to rest in you, God. For the one listening who feels tired of trying to understand everything, give them permission to rest. For the one who feels anxious about what's next, steady their heart. For the one who feels forgotten, remind them they are seen. We don't need to have it all figured out tonight. We just need to be here with you. Let your peace settle into the spaces where worry has lived. Let calm replace tension. Let rest replace striving. We trust you, not because everything makes sense, but because you are faithful. And even here in the waiting, you are with us. Lord, teach us how to trust you, not just when we understand, but when we don't. Because trusting you is easy when answers are clear, when doors open on time, when prayers are answered the way we expected. But trust becomes harder when the path feels delayed, when the timeline stretches longer than we planned, when hope feels thin and faith feels tired. God, there are seasons where we keep believing, but quietly wonder if we're doing something wrong. We question our choices. We replay conversations. We search for meaning in every delay. And still, the answers don't come. So we come to you honestly. Teach us that trust is not pretending everything is okay. It's not forcing a smile. It's not ignoring pain. Trust is choosing you, even when nothing makes sense. Trust is staying when walking away would feel easier. Trust is waiting when giving up would feel more comfortable. Lord, some of us are tired of trying to understand everything. Tired of overthinking. Tired of asking why. We've tried to connect the dots. We've tried to be patient. We've tried to stay hopeful. But tonight, we admit it. We don't have the answers. And maybe we don't need them right now. God, help us release the need to explain everything. Help us stop measuring our faith by outcomes. Help us trust that you are still working even when we can't see how. Because faith isn't built on explanations. It's built on relationship. And you are still here, even when the road is unclear, even when the timing feels off, even when the silence feels heavy. Lord, remind us that waiting is not wasted time. It is not empty time. It is not forgotten time. Waiting is where trust grows quietly. So we rest here. We stop striving for certainty. We stop demanding clarity. We stop putting pressure on ourselves to have it all figured out. We breathe. God, for the one listening who feels discouraged, restore gentle hope. For the one who feels confused, bring calm to their thoughts. For the one who feels worn down by waiting, renew their strength quietly. We choose to trust you tonight, not because everything makes sense, not because the future is clear, but because you are faithful and you have never left us. We place our unanswered questions in your hands. We lay down our expectations. We surrender the timelines we try to control, and we rest. Even here, even now, we trust you. Your word reminds us that you walk with us through the valley, not around it. You don't rush us past the hard parts. You don't abandon us in the middle. You stay, even when the road feels heavy, even when the path feels uncertain, even when we wish things were different. You are there. Your word reminds us that you are close to the weary, not only to the strong, not only to the faithful who never doubt, but to the tired, the discouraged, the ones who are still trying even when it feels difficult. You draw near when strength runs low. You stay when energy fades. You remain when answers don't come. and that alone is enough. Your word reminds us that peace doesn't come from explanations. It doesn't come from everything making sense. Peace comes from your presence, from knowing we are not alone, from knowing we are held, from knowing we are seen even in silence. So we lean on that now, not loudly, not dramatically, but quietly. We stop trying to understand everything. We stop replaying the past. We stop worrying about what hasn't happened yet. We rest in what is true, that you are near, that you are gentle, that you are faithful. Your word tells us that you give rest to the weary, that you carry what feels too heavy for us, that you guard our hearts when our thoughts feel scattered. So we let those words settle. We let them move past the mind and into the heart. We don't force belief. We don't rush trust. We simply allow truth to sit with us. God, remind us that we don't have to be perfect to be held. We don't have to be certain to be loved. We don't have to have it all together to belong. Your presence is steady. Your peace is gentle. Your care is constant. Even now, even here, we breathe slowly. We release tension we didn't realize we were holding. We let our shoulders soften. We let our thoughts slow. Your word says you are our refuge, a safe place, a quiet shelter. So we come in. We stop standing guard. We stop bracing for what's next. We rest. Not because everything is resolved, not because the waiting is over, but because you are with us. And that is enough for this moment. We don't need to pretend. We don't need to explain ourselves. We don't need to perform faith. We simply remain held, seen, at peace. God, for the one listening who feels exhausted, lift the weight they've been carrying alone, the weight they don't talk about, the weight they learned to hide, the weight they wake up with and fall asleep holding. They've been strong for a long time. They've been responsible. They've kept going, even when rest felt out of reach. God, gently take what they've been holding. The pressure, the expectations, the quiet fear that they might fall behind if they stop. They don't need to carry this tonight. For the one who feels forgotten, remind them they are seen. Seen in their effort. Seen in their patience. Seen in the moments no one else noticed. They may feel overlooked by people. They may feel unseen by circumstances. But you have never lost sight of them. You see the tears they didn't cry. You see the prayers they didn't finish. You see the faith they kept even when it felt fragile. Let them feel that now. For the one who is still waiting, give them strength for today, not answers for tomorrow. They don't need the full picture right now. They don't need certainty. They don't need everything to make sense. They just need enough strength for this moment, enough peace for this breath, enough grace for this night. God, release them from the burden of tomorrow. Release them from the pressure to plan, predict, or prepare. Tonight is not about the future. Tonight is about rest. Let peace settle into their body, into their shoulders, into their jaw, into the places that have been tight for too long. Let worry loosen its grip. Let anxious thoughts slow down. Let the need to control gently fade. Let rest finally come. Not forced rest, not restless sleep, but deep, honest rest. The kind that doesn't ask questions, the kind that doesn't rush healing, the kind that simply allows the soul to breathe. God, quiet the mind that keeps replaying everything. Calm the heart that feels overstimulated. Soothe the nervous system that's been on alert for too long. You are safe here. You are held here. You don't need to stay tense. God, for the one listening who feels emotionally drained, fill the empty spaces slowly. Not all at once, not overwhelming, just enough. Enough calm, enough reassurance, enough comfort to last the night. We release what we cannot fix. We release what we cannot change. We release what we were never meant to carry. We place it in your hands, and we rest. Even if sleep doesn't come immediately, peace can. Even if answers don't arrive, comfort can. Even if tomorrow feels uncertain, this moment can be gentle. We trust you with what we don't understand. We trust you with what we cannot hold anymore. And we rest. You are not behind, even if it feels like time has moved faster than you expected, even if others seem further ahead, even if life didn't unfold the way you planned. You are not behind. You are exactly where you are right now, and God has not lost track of you. You are not weak, even if you're tired, even if you feel worn down, even if strength feels quieter than it used to. Tired faith is still faith. Quiet strength is still strength. You are not failing, not because you're waiting, not because you don't have answers, not because you're still figuring things out. Waiting is not punishment. It is not a sign that you missed something. It is not proof that you're doing life wrong. Waiting is often where the deepest work happens. Silence is not abandonment. God is not distant because things are quiet. He is not absent because answers haven't come yet. Sometimes silence is where trust grows. Sometimes quiet is where healing begins. Sometimes nothing happening on the outside means something is being gently shaped within. God is still working, even when you can't see it yet, even when you can't feel it yet, even when there are no signs to point to. He is working beneath the surface, in ways that don't announce themselves, in ways that don't rush. So you don't need to strain to notice it. You don't need to search for proof. You don't need to convince yourself everything is okay. You can just be here, breathing, resting, present. You don't have to move on yet. You don't have to close this moment. You don't have to prepare for what's next. There is no rush. God is patient with you. God is gentle with you. God is not disappointed in you. You are allowed to take this slowly. You are allowed to stay here as long as you need. You are allowed to rest without explanation. Even now, God is near, not asking anything from you, not demanding clarity, not requiring answers, just staying. So we stay too. We stay with the quiet. We stay with the peace that's slowly settling. We stay with the reassurance that we are not alone. Nothing needs to change in this moment. Nothing needs to be decided. Nothing needs to be resolved. This is enough. And as this continues, as the words repeat, as the stillness deepens, God remains with you, here, now. If you're not ready to sleep yet, you can stay here. There's no need to rush the night. No need to move on from this moment. Nothing is asking you to hurry. Let this prayer continue with you. Let the quiet keep holding you. Let peace keep unfolding, slowly, gently, in its own time. Nothing needs to be solved right now. Nothing needs to be decided. Nothing needs to be figured out before you rest. Just breathe. Let your breath settle. Let your thoughts soften. Let trust grow at its own pace. Not forced, not rushed. Just growing quietly, the way light does. You are safe here, and if this time has helped you rest, if it has helped you feel less alone, if it has given your heart even a small sense of calm, This is how this space continues. By subscribing to the Way of Light, you help keep these prayers here, free, quiet, and always available for anyone who needs peace in the middle of the night. When you subscribe, you're not just supporting a channel, you're joining a place of rest, a place people return to when the world feels heavy, when faith feels quiet, when they need somewhere gentle to land. And if this prayer met you where you are, you can quietly let us know. You can type, "I'm here," or "Thank you, God," or simply leave a heart. There's no pressure, no performance, no right words. It just helps someone else feel less alone too. You're always welcome here, tonight, tomorrow. Whenever you need this space again, this is the Way of Light. Rest, stay, and let the peace continue.